Jackson Radio Show.
The previous administration saw a connection between climate change and homeland security, and that the frequency and intensity of powerful storms like Harvey and Irma could pose a problem for future administrations. You could have FEMA budgets that can't keep up with the demand when you have powerful storms hitting the country. Is that something that you think this administration should take a look at? We know the president pulled out of the Paris Climate Accord. Are these storms giving this administration some pause when it comes to the issue of climate change and homeland security?
I was here in the 2004 cycle of hurricanes, 4 and 6 weeks that hit Florida. I think what's prudent for us right now is to make sure that those response capabilities are there. Causality is something outside of my ability to analyze right now. I will tell you that we continue to take seriously the climate change, not the cause of it, but the things that we observe. And so there's a rising, I think, 1 inch every 10 years in Tampa, things that would require prudent mitigation measures. And what I said from the podium the other day and what President Trump remains committed to is making sure that federal dollars aren't used to rebuild things that will be in harm's way later or that won't be hardened against the future predictable floods that we see. And that has to do with engineering analysis and changing conditions along eroding shorelines, but also in inland water and flood control projects. So,
welcome, everybody. Kevin Jackson. That was a great answer by guy, he's part of the Homeland Security, Rosser. He was doing a press conference on the hurricanes, and of course, Acosta from CNN says, "Oh, we pulled out of the climate accord, and that's the reason why we're having all these hurricanes." These lefties won't let up. And I love what Acosta said. The guy's the frequency and intensity of hurricanes, and he goes, "What does it cause them to put? Does it cause them to put a pause on their assessment of climate change? Hurricane season." And the guy comes back, "I was here during the 2004 cycle. Why weren't you asking it?" Their excuse would be, "Well, Barack Obama was taking care of it." Well, if there was climate, if you could do something about climate change and we're doing it, why did we have that cycle in 2004? And I'm going to make a prediction, people. We're going to have hurricanes next year around this time. I know. Kevin, I'm out there on a limb. My producers are good. Like, what? Yes. Settle down, fellas. We won't get fired over this prediction. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm going to predict that we will have hurricanes next year within a month of this time frame. And I don't know. What do I want to go out on a limb on how many? I will go out on a limb. There'll be 2 hurricanes relatively back to back. I don't know if I want to go as far as how many letters will go out, because right now we're at Jose, or do we have a Karen yet? So we got through J. Where we at? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. So 26 letters in the alphabet. We're up to 10. Now, I don't know how big of a season that is. Maybe one of you guys could research that and get back with me. But I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to go out on that flimsy limb where people probably don't want to go out there with me. But I'm going to bet that somewhere in the Atlantic, there will be a hurricane or 2 that come our way next year. They may not get as far as we need them to or whatever. God, let's pray for that. But there will be some hurricanes forming in the Atlantic. I'm just putting that out there. Yeah. So I love this guy. He says, I don't know what the causality is. He says, but what we will do, what we will address are the things that we observe. So we'll look at the things that can help to mitigate what happens in hurricanes. But there's only so much you can do. Here is the problem with living at the beach, okay? Let's just go ahead and put this out there. Seems like we need some tough love. If you live at the beach, you're going to deal with hurricanes. Maybe not this. I predict some next year too. But who knows, right? Lord knows we've figured out there's a hurricane season. He says we want to make sure, Rosser says, we want to make sure, and I think this is prudent. We want to make sure federal dollars are not used to build things that are going to be in harm's way again. Let me tell you what insurance companies do. They say if you're in a flood zone, we will not cover you. You have to get flood insurance. And in certain instances, we're not covering you anyway. It's your risk. So if you live on the beach, I guarantee, I don't know much about insurance. I've never been in the insurance business. They've been my clients. But I know this, the actuaries, the guys who figure out how often something occurs and how they're going to make money. So they're going, I don't care if Hurricane Hugo cost $3 billion. We made $3.5 billion in insurance costs. Their job is to mitigate the risk and make sure that they are bringing in more money than the damage that gets done. And these guys want, hurricane season to be short. They don't want hurricanes hitting. They've bet against them. All right. So, but you can be guaranteed these guys are not going to let you take advantage of them. Like, oh, I'm going to have a beach house. Oh, well, hey, your hurricane insurance will be $1 a year. No, you're going to pay. Because they're going back looking at data. And look, here's the beauty of data. In this case, the better they are at analyzing it, the more that they can predict it, the better that, they can keep the costs down. Because if you got to, lick your finger and put it up in the wind to go, when's the next hurricane going to hit? I got to put a lot of money. It's going to cost you $10,000 a year. I don't know what hurricane insurance costs, but I know you need it. Anyway, I want to play this next clip. Let's get that clip going, because the guy goes on to really give an amazing answer. I mean, this is the complete answer now in terms of climate change, because Jim Acosta won't let up.
Yeah, and just to follow up on that, when you see 3 Category 4 hurricanes all on the same map at the same time, does the thought occur to you, geez, maybe there is something to this climate change thing and its connection to powerful hurricanes? Where you just separate the two and say, boy, these are a lot of big hurricanes coming our way?
Well, I don't know if I say either, but I do note that there's a cyclical nature to a lot of these hurricane seasons, and I think the scientists, for their forecast on this particular one, they were dead on that this would be a stronger and more powerful hurricane season with slightly more than average large storms making landfall in the United States. So we'll have to do a larger trend analysis at a later date.
Welcome back, everybody. I think the guy's name is Prosser, not Rosser. Either way, whether it's Prosser or Rosser, he's Homeland Security. He's talking about the hurricanes to Acosta on CNN, who is a climate change guy, a lefty. You can spot these guys, easily. And don't misunderstand me. I had a couple of conservatives talk to me. Kevin, you gotta, lighten up on climate change. I mean, it's real. And no, it isn't. No, it isn't. It's weather. And I can tell you this, as God is my witness, there is nothing that we did that impacted what hurricanes were going to hit the coast of Texas or Florida. Nothing. There are people, Kevin, the government can create weather. Okay, fine. It can do whatever it wants to do. But I'm telling you, if you think the government can create a system the size of Irma, you're wrong. You're a conspiracy theorist. Government isn't going to play God with weather. I'm not telling you they can't seed the clouds to make some rain, but the weather's going to do what it does, because the earth is going to essentially absorb whatever we do, no matter how big it is we think we are. It will absorb it. And I know that may have, make some people mad. I don't really care. I'm telling you, we are dealing with weather. And can it be manipulated a bit? Absolutely. There are people that, like I said, what was it? There's something they said they can create an earthquake. Possibly. But trust me, nature's earthquake is a lot bigger than man's. So I love the way this guy comes back, because Acosta says 3 Cat 4 hurricanes and, at the same time. Is there a connection? Well, no. The connection is Earth decided to create 3 Cat 4 hurricanes. That's the connection. That's how big nature, a.k.a. God, is. And then Prosser comes back and talks about the cyclical nature of hurricanes. Exactly right. And I'm joking when I talk about, next year I think we might have a hurricane season. Next year, I'm going to go out on another limb. Oh, yeah. Next year, there's going to be throughout the South a few tornadoes. No. Don't try to talk me out of this. There are going to be a few tornadoes that'll go from Texas, and they'll hit Oklahoma, and they'll hit Kansas, and Alabama, Georgia, maybe Mississippi, maybe Tennessee, and I know it's hard to believe, but and possibly Missouri. There's going to be a tornado season. I don't know how many, but you can expect a few. You know what? There are going to be lightning storms in Florida. Yeah, I know. Big thunderstorm, torrential rainstorms are going to hit Florida and Texas at some point. And there'll be a few sprinkled throughout the rest of the nation. And one other quick point. There will be a drought in the Sahara Desert.
Kevin Jackson
on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.